Hey guys, this is Mrs. Carter. In this video we're going to talk about the reason there are seasons on the Earth. First of all, let's look at some common misconceptions. Common misconceptions. Okay. When I first asked students why there's the seasons like spring, summer, fall, and winter on the Earth, most of the responses that I get back is that the reason we have seasons is because the Earth gets closer to the sun as it goes around the sun around the year, and that's the reason the Earth warms up. We have summer, and as it gets farther away from the sun, it gets colder. That is actually a misconception. Let me draw this for you. So the sun would be in the center right here. Let's say this is the Earth, and it travels around the sun in an elliptical orbit, say like that. And when it gets closer to the sun over here, this is where we'd have summer. And as we get farther from the sun over here, this would be winter, with like spring and fall. Spring and fall on either side over here as we get average distance from the sun. So this is actually, the fact that we are in an elliptical orbit is mostly correct. It's not too big of an ellipse like this, but we actually don't have summer at this time, though, in winter at this time. When the Earth is closest to the sun, that's actually in January. So this is kind of one of the biggest common misconceptions, is when the Earth is closest to the sun, it must be the hottest time of year. It's actually January. So in the northern hemisphere anyway, it's the coldest time of year. And at this farthest distance from the sun, that's actually the hottest part of the year, and here in America, North America, where this is July. I was about to say June. So after learning about this and that this isn't the reason for seasons, you might ask, well, what is the reason? Well, let me tell you. It has to do with the axis of the Earth. So we've got North Poles and South Poles right here, the axis of the Earth. We've got an equator going along this way, and the Earth isn't perpendicular to the sun in this way. We're actually tilted. We're tilted at an angle of 23.5. So let me tilt this. So instead of being quite up and quite right up and right down, instead we're at an angle of about 23.5. So from the sun, facing the sun, we have got this angle of 23.5 degrees. So let's say the sun, we're over here, and we're getting a lot of beams from the sun. Most of that light would be concentrated on this part of the Earth, so just above the equator right here. It's hitting this section. So in this instance, the northern hemisphere is getting the most sun, so it is in the hotter seasons, so the summer seasons like July, August, or June. Then the opposite will happen. Right here, let me move this. The Earth will be at a 23.5 degree angle, and the southern hemisphere will then be in the hottest months with summer and July, for example. So the seasons alternate between the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So I had a friend just get back from Australia. Right now I'm filming, and it's summer right now. They just got back from Australia, and it's moving into winter in Australia. The seasons alternate as